Give us a place to stand and a place to grow. They call this land Ontario. All right, we do have that clip. I'm very sorry for that. But I wanted to lead into the new slogan for the Ontario license plate. Reportedly, as we broadcast here on a Wednesday live, April 10th, apparently the government's going to announce a new slogan, breaking news.
Tomorrow?
That's tomorrow, if you're watching this on Wednesday night. Ontario license plates used to be Keep It Beautiful. They were changed many years ago to Yours to Discover, probably in the 70s. And the current government, we heard word that we were going to be open for business on the license plates. And then suddenly, Places to Grow, and you'll recognize that Centennial song I did such a fantastic
stellar
job on.
Yes.
When can I buy your Christmas album?
The album,
We're
the
not
album,
going to get the
album hits the
music,
stores
we're not gonna
tomorrow.
get the music.
I don't think any chairs would have turned.
What do you think about this whole issue of a slogan on the license plate?
I think
Sylvia?
I just said that it's one of the two things this government has done that I approve of. The other is return to basic math if they do that. But no, I think it's a good slogan, frankly. And, we do change the slogans periodically, and a lot of people are complaining, why do we have to do this? Well, we don't have to do it, but if we're going to do it, that's a good slogan, I think.
I think people are complaining, but it's kind of a standard piece of provincial bureaucracy. Things get rebranded, license plates change. They changed the logo on the Trillium, and then they changed it back.
Well, the Trillium, and it was 3 men in a hot tub was the challenge.
Yeah, thankfully, we didn't have to deal with 3 men in a hot tub on our Trillium grants. But
What about a place to grow pot?
see,
Oh,
there's so many
no,
things that you
don't-
can
uh-oh.
grow
It could
in
be-
Ontario.
yeah.
That might get changed,
A personalized
places to
license
grow.
plate.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny, I was going to give you a quiz, but Alberta, Wild Rose Country, beautiful British Columbia, Be in This Place, New Brunswick, A World of
Be in
Difference.
This Place. That's not
World of
good.
Difference, Newfoundland and Labrador.
That's good.
Birthplace of Confederation, anybody?
PEI.
PEI.
Of course,
And Quebec, Jamais
Souviens.
Souviens, I remember. And
Yeah, and then that wonderful, we were talking about Yukon.
the
License plate
polar
with the polar
bear.
bear.
Yes,
Yeah. That's the best license plate in the country.
So I actually had to paint my license plate today because it was peeling off. So
Did you paint the new slogan on?
No, yeah, that's right. No, I didn't go that far. But anyway, I just wanted to mention that because it's funny. It's something you don't necessarily think of it. But I think about Keep It Beautiful in the '70s. People would just throw litter out of their cars, and it really was a public education technique to remind people that you can't just throw wrappers and things out of the car.
That was interesting that, I think generally speaking, the sort of place to grow is, I think, probably pretty well accepted. Open for business, people are saying on a commercial license plate, well, that's too much of a campaign slogan. I don't think one way or the other, but place to grow kind of ties back into the Liberals' growth strategy, which was their so they've said we're not political. We'll go with the old Liberal slogan and put places to grow on.
I think
Once they realize that, Jim,
They may change their minds.
what's kind of nice about it is that you can kind of lead it into anything. It's a place to grow, plants, environment. It's a place to grow business. It's a place to grow your economy. You can kind of lead it off
Personal
into any
development.
ideology.
No, I think
Everyone needs to hire a personal growth coach.
And it ties back to that 52-year-old song we heard there. Okay, talk about growth. Peterborough is the fastest growing community in census metropolitan areas across Canada. I think there's 34 or 35 of them. It's areas with more than 125,000 people. Is this good news for Peterborough? The headlines.
I think it's mixed news, frankly. I think generally speaking it's good news. I was mayor when Barrie was the fastest growing community in Ontario, in the country.
Yep.
And it was a mixed blessing for Barrie. And part of it was, I think, they lost their soul in the process in a way, and that created other problems. Growth costs. It's not all gravy. On the other hand, I think it's going to happen finally, I think, as long as we plan for it. And that's why, it's whatever happens with the new official plan and everything. But I think, it's not necessary. The important thing is to hang on, again, and you've heard me say this too many times, to the qualities in this community that make you want to stay here, make you want to come back from Toronto.
Right.
Why I'm still here, and we were going to go back in 5 years in '67. Those qualities that make it sort of a cozy place. And so that is a real challenge, but I think it's important.
I think we're already seeing we've been seeing the impacts of this for years. Like our housing market's exploded. You know, we're dealing with big problems. We're dealing with the opioid crisis at a shocking level. There were 2 overdose deaths in a weekend a little while ago. You know, we're dealing with the impacts of this, and we have been for a while, and we've already been planning for it. Whether or not we were the fastest growing city in Canada or we were anticipating some pretty rapid growth happening already. I don't think it changes anything necessarily, but I think it does kind of emphasize the fact that
it's going to accelerate it, I think, Taylor. And for many years, I mean, there were complaints. We only grew at 1 and 1.5%
Right, yeah.
for years, and people saying, "Oh, we got to grow," but we could plan and deal with that. And I just hope that we are astute enough